All right, welcome back to another Bitcoin price update and welcome to the new week. So we will go ahead and touch on some stuff in the stock market, just see how those charts are looking, but mainly let's talk about the Bitcoin volatility we got recently because we did get a little bit of a flush. Like I said, it was probably possible. Like it shouldn't be long in this area because we were at big resistance, and you can see it is just pixel touching my levels. I'd love to see when the price action is just respecting my levels that I made weeks and weeks ago so perfectly, and it just shows the power of these volume spikes here on the profile. This entire range has had so much volume that it's very easy to kind of draw out where the levels are going to go ahead and bounce from or reject from. You can see we rejected pixel perfect from the 69,500 kind of value area high, and then after that rejection went swiftly right back down to this volume level, and pixel touched that, getting a nice bounce off of that. And I would say at this point, there's a very good chance that was the low, right? I said we were probably going to have some liquidity sweeps in here for some flushes for the long positions, but they shouldn't really last, in my opinion. We could have a bigger flush. We talked about that, the 12-hour bear div. There are some confluences to say we're going to pull all the way back to around $63,000 before continuing on up. But I think Bitcoin's in honey badger mode. I think it's just going to take out the late longers and then continue rallying on upwards. So you guys know I love my liquidity, probably are annoyed of me saying that word, but we do have a lot of it behind these lower wicks. So don't be surprised if we also could wick down one more time if a lot of longs do start stepping in here. If we actually look at the order flow though, you can see open interest isn't doing anything too crazy. There's not a bunch of aggressive longs starting to pile back in. Now, did we actually flush a ton of them with this move? And in that regard, no, not really. You can see open interest didn't really drop all too much, but what you did have was a lot of shorts getting trapped right in here. So we got a lot of shorts that are trapped now at this level, and that could be a very good sign that we might not want to go retest that, and we could continue on up and just continue to go ahead and climb that wall of worry, squeezing out those short positions. So that's the order flow for you for today. Let's go back over to trading view though. Do we see anything with their good old RSI down here? And we got some divergences that are bullish, right? We got the higher lows and we got the lower lows that shows absorption in the market from those aggressive sellers. So just like we talked about, we can see it in order flow. We got aggressive sellers down here at the lows, but price is not making a lower low, showing that there is absorption of this selling pressure, which is very good. Another indication that we can in fact go ahead and squeeze on up higher over here on Bitcoin. And I do think as we continue to squeeze up on higher here, assuming we can, this stuff is going to start going pretty quickly, and we're going to be approaching all-time highs very, very soon here, especially with those elections coming up. I would not be surprised at all to see mass euphoria hit right when we do have people starting to go out and vote. So the timing makes a lot of sense to me. The chart makes a lot of sense to me for this final breakup into all-time highs. You look at the altcoin market, everything looks very aligned here. We got above our $620 billion market cap level, and we got a quick flush, but you can see that instantly wicked back up on the higher term timeframes here. So that's really nice to see. The daily looks very, very healthy. We talked about how when we got this breakout, I wanted to see a couple clear, good candle closes above and then some wicks down to actually be testing that level. And we are in fact getting that over here on total 3. This is extremely bullish in my opinion. The last time we broke out of this range, we didn't have those nice supportive wicks backtesting the level. Now that we actually have that, it makes me more confident that this is in fact going to hold, and we truly are about to start the altcoin season. So yeah, everything I've been saying still applies. Very bullish on the charts, but just be cautious. Don't get caught up into the euphoria if we do break all-time highs. Feel free to stay updated here on the channel, as I will be continuing to cover the price action every day on the crypto charts. But we're not done here, because let's jump out of crypto and let's talk about some other traditional finance stuff, starting with the DXY. Very interesting. The dollar continues to rally as Bitcoin is rallying as well. Usually these are inversely correlated, but there is the thesis that other currencies outside of the dollar, other dollars like the JPY, yen, euro, etc., are actually flooding into dollars. They're selling their assets for capital markets and the dollar. So while you might see the dollar valuing against other dollars, a lot of that money is also just going into the stock market, going into Bitcoin. They're just trying to seek safety outside of their personal currencies. And that is why you can see the dollar running with traditional finance and crypto. But this could be taken as a more bearish thing because people are seeking safety in the dollar, which means there could be recessionary times ahead, which is something I've been talking about for a long time, but before you get recessions, you usually get big euphoria. So I think that's what's about to hit us. Something else that might be a little bit more on the bearish side is that the Russell was not able to confirm a breakout here of the value area high. We are back within the range, so we'll see what does play out here. Really got to give it some time. One daily candle isn't enough for me to really be too conclusive on what's going to happen here. I wouldn't be surprised at all for this to wick down to the daily EMA point of control and then to wick right back above for the full back test and then breakout. We'll just have to let this play out, but certainly so far this isn't what we wanted to see, right? We wanted to see this go into price discovery. The fact that we're back within the range isn't the greatest sign of the world ever. It's also not the end of the world, especially when we have the S&P continuing to just march on up here. The S&P is still showing a lot of strength, just trading up here at all-time highs. This is not looking bearish at all. With these nice hammer candles to the downside, not really too worried at all for the S&P actually topping out here. Although I do think at some point, this is going to roll over. And whenever the S&P rolls over, crypto is absolutely going to follow, as it does correlate with a risk on asset. But yeah, overall, still super bullish. I like what I'm seeing on the charts. But if you do have any questions about anything I talked about or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. Also have a VIP Discord down there, so feel free to click that link, read more about it, decide for yourself if it's worth your money or not. And then also I got a bunch of exchanges down there, so feel free to click on those referral links and get yourself some nice rewards and bonuses using my referral links to sign up. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.